yes sir, yes master, that doesn't make me above you. And that's just the culture of a martial artist. So that honor, developing that, having that within your team, and making sure people are proud of what they do is important. Every single one of us in this world, we don't do things because we want to make money. It's not the only reason. Actually, that might not be the reason at all. That's just part of it. We do things because we feel good about doing those things. Right? The other day I was going to the bank and doing some deposit and transfer, paying my taxes. I usually have an accountant that does that. This time I said, you know what, it's easier, I'll just go do it myself. Of course, I got lost in the bank. And I was walking there, and I had this simple slip in my hand. I was enjoying that job so much. For the first time, I didn't have to think. I had to park my car, go to a bank, and not think, just do a job. And the job was to get the slip of tax to the cashier, they pay, they take the money, pay the government, so you're happy, you know you've done it. Right? Even though I was paying, I was happy. I was happy about accomplishing that task. And the task that made me not to worry so much about things or figuring things out or figuring out how social science is supposed to work. Right? Or the architect behind it. And so none of those things. It was a simple, easy job. You take this receipt to the bank, make sure you get stamped. I enjoyed that job. I like it. Is there anything wrong with that? Does that make me any less? No. Everybody has a position in life. So no matter what you do in your organization, whether it's a sales or marketing or cleaning a floor, everybody has to enjoy what they do. Everybody has to be appreciated for what they do. Because to them, the reason they do those things is make sure that they feel good about themselves. Right? I hope every time we call our office, I always say that to the customer service team, that never make a client feel that he or she is a stupid. Never do that. I said, oh, he's doing it in my computer, why isn't he doing yours? You mean you're stupid. So if they do that to you, please call me. So I hate that. Right? Because somebody doesn't know a screen or your computer or your software doesn't make them any less than you. They just don't know that. That doesn't make them stupid. Right? So the worst thing is to not appreciate what people do. When you become this big master in your school, everybody respects you, right? That sometimes comes with ego. Immediately cut it off. Look at yourself in the mirror, cut it off, because you will never grow out of it. One of the things that I teach to my brown belts before they get to black belt, all the talks is all about ego. Right? Yes, you do become black belt. Black belt is not the end of it. Right? Make sure your head doesn't grow as much as your belt. Right? Stay to yourself. Because as soon as you know you're so much, what do? The first thing you do? You stop growing. What happens to all these people who win a lot of money? They stop growing. They become so much. Then what happens? They lose all the money because they don't know how. Right? First you need to grow you continuously. If you want to be successful, you've got to work on yourself. Part of that in the martial arts business is make sure it doesn't get to your head. You're the master, you're the greatest at your art, but don't ever forget my story. The lady picking up the cow, going up the steps, right? Don't ever forget the story. Keep that in check, and that helps you to grow. Third most importantly, relationship. You need to develop a relationship between you and your staff members. It's not all about, I don't know anything about you, I don't want to know anything about you. Maybe if you want, you can know something about me in my fights and what I've done. Right? Just leave me alone. It won't work. Right? It won't work. You cannot build a team without getting to know them. Right? You cannot work with people closely and never go for lunch. Right? You cannot develop a relationship if you don't know who they're married with, who their kids are. Like, that's not a relationship. What's relationship? Relationship is what you've got with your close friends and families, right? Business works the same way. It doesn't matter what level of business you're in. If you look at these big, huge public companies, all the board members, they're all very close relationships. Part of building a great team is building a great relationship. You know how. If there's any business out there that wouldn't know that, you do know that. Because I know you develop a relationship with the mother of your student, you know what they're up to, you know what the problems are, what the challenges are, you talk to the son, you talk to the daughter, right? You kind of know them, right? I know a lot about Datis. Maybe not Datis, no, not as much. You know his dad, I know his mom, right? I know what they do. His mom still every single Christmas gives me a gift. Every single Christmas. She had never missed one. It's like unbelievable. Your mom's going to get that. It's important to develop a relationship between the people you work with. And remember, all these three things are important for what? Building a great team. If you're 100 students, you need to be two of you, never one. In a 100 student school, must be two of you. Every 100 students you must add a full-time extra person. So if you have 300 students, you must have 3 of you. 400 students, 4 of you. 500 students, 5 of you. Same rule stands for computers, by the way. For walking in martial arts schools with 500 students, they better have 5 computers. Better. One for checking, one for program director, one for the instructors to update the notes. Right? Same rule stands. So, and when I say full-time, I mean full-time. It means 8 hours a day. That's their job. This is what they do. This is their life. And they love it. They do think of it as a career. Right? They're not going trying to go get an MBA and get a job in an office. No, they're loving it. They're enjoying it. So that's, I think it's pretty much the end of my presentation. If you have a question that I'd like to answer, please go ahead. We still have like, what, 10 minutes, John?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll just bring the mic over here to the podium. If anyone has any questions, just please call up and ask.
Right. Any question? Go ahead. John, take the mic there.
Sir.
And then we're going to leave the mic here, so if you guys want to come ask questions, that'd be great.
For every 100 students, you need one person or one staff. Is that in every area?
Which area you mean, that person?
Yeah, what areas? I mean, is it every 100 students,
A staff.
one staff?
Yeah, okay. So that was the rules of thumb, right? But how do you divide that person into a job? You know that, right? Where there are needs. Obviously, the number of students increases, you have to become more systemized. Because one of the things that kills organizations is efficiency, right? Whether it's a martial arts business or a software business, same thing. So every 100 or 200 or 300 students, you have to look at back your system, see if it's efficient enough. For example, do your instructors go to the class and teach whatever they want? That's so bad. You have to have a curriculum. You need to know what they want to teach. If you want to ask a question, can you come forward, guys? Just come here to the podium so everybody can hear you, please. Right?